That's a real audio clip you just played of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if most people know that, but it was an actual clip of actual Arnold Schwarzenegger that you just played.
I said, I'll be back. I am back now. And Keith Saltojanes is the best human on earth. You better buy his book now. That's right, indeed.
It was strange watching the new Terminator movie, and all of a sudden Arnold Schwarzenegger did a commercial for my book. But I didn't want to complain. But a lot of people were like, why does the movie stop? And he starts promoting a book randomly in the movie. But I personally think it was the best part of the movie when Arnold Schwarzenegger started doing that in Terminator 17.
Because he's the improvenator. You are now listening to the podcast where authors inspire listeners to become authors, the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer, best-selling author, and book enthusiast, Dom Brightman. And you're going to be listening to a different author that will inspire you to join the business of immortality, known as authorship. Now let the fun begin. Today's episode is sponsored by the GoingNorthPodcast.com shop. It is going to help you have northbound direction to your own success. If you want a great inspirational quote like advance others to advance yourself, or today a reader, tomorrow a leader, heck, even some puns like pile on and always fully booked on your tote bag, mug, hoodie, heck, even a t-shirt, and many, many other items, head over to GoingNorthPodcast.com, click on the shop tab, and cop yourself some merchandise indeed. And that's GoingNorthPodcast.com/shop. And today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as the wonderful Going North Podcast, we got another super special, awesome human for you today. Curtis, my good buddy, Mr. Eminem, Mr. Mickey Mickelson, all the way from the great country of Canada. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. My man's getting his frequent flyer miles and frequent PR miles, indeed, because he hooked me up with another super special, awesome human, baby. That's right, indeed. Because we have a rare find today. We have a Guinness World Record holder on the show, baby. That's right, indeed. A Guinness World Record holder, as well as a teacher and a comedian. So let's give it up for the K to the S, the kind and stupendous, the one, the only Keith Saltojanes. How you doing today, Keith?
I'm doing good. I don't know why I had to be tied to this chair in this room, but I'm happy to be here. I'm hoping to get some food, though. Just sort of been here for a few days. Happy to finally record, but are you going to let me out when this is done recording?
Yeah, the Garden Gnomes will decide. We hear you have an alter ego known as Bandit Keith.
It's not me, though. It's not me. It's someone else who has my name who just wears a bandana. It's not just let me talk to the Garden Gnomes. Come on.
That's right, indeed. Well, we'll find out after this 10,000-hour interview.
10,000 hours. Let's do it. Happy to be here. Let's go. 10,000 hours. We're 30 seconds in.
I guess the stopwatch has been going for like ever, indeed, man. So my goodness, like usually I ask folks to fill in the cavities, but my goodness, a Guinness World Record holder, and it was for 150 hours of improv, right?
That's right. It was a show called the 7-Day Show. We wanted to set the Guinness World Record, and the previous record was 70 hours. So we beat it a little bit, just by a little bit. 150 hours. We beat it a little bit.
Did you even train for that like an Olympian, my man? Like, how was that even the preparation process for that, man?
Preparation was you just begin. And that first half hour was like, all right, here we go. We got a lot of chipping away to go to get through this entire show. But you just like prepping for any improv show, you just get up there and put all your skills and lessons and practice to use, and then you never know what's going to happen. Could be bad, could be good, but either way, it will never happen again because it's improv.
So I'm guessing you're saying you were on a mission from God. Is that how it all happened?
That's right. I got the new Bluesmobile to get the band back together on a mission to God.
That's right, indeed. Freaking one of the greatest movies of all freaking time.
Blues Brothers. That's my favorite. Wait, did you know that was my favorite movie? Or is this a coincidence? This is my favorite movie of all time.
Hey man, you're a Dan Aykroyd fan. I love watching the movie as a kid growing up. So I'm like, dude, like that movie is so hilarious. It's so musical. It like just the fact that like back in the day you just see some random people just throw it up in the air for no reason in the church.
Oh, yeah, people just flipping. There's no trampolines. People just flipping around. You got James Brown singing, incredible. And then he's like, "I see the light. Jesus ain't stop dancing, Christ. I see the light. The band." It's great. I like every time I watch the movie, I find something else to laugh at. It's so good. What kind of music y'all play? We play both kinds. We got both kinds, country and western.
That's right, indeed. They were definitely before the CW network, baby. That's right, indeed. The real CW.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right,
country and
western.
I mean, I like
That's
Blues
right.
Brothers so much that I even like Blues Brothers 2000. That's how big of a fan I am of the Blues Brothers.
I mean, hey, yeah, sadly, my man John Belushi passed away, but that was still a darn good, entertaining movie, though.
It was entertaining. Yeah, you got even more and more famous musicians, get a lot of the original people back. It's pretty epic.
That's right. Even had Erica Badu pop in for a good old cameo
Oh,
swag.
yeah. She sang Funky Nassau. Nassau's gone funky. Nassau's gone soul. I remember it. I remember that.
Heck yeah,
Erica
indeed.
Badu is the queen. She's the best. No one
Heck
like her.
yeah, indeed. You could say that again. That's
Yeah,
why folks are
no one
still
like her.
talking about Tyrone to this day.
Just don't call him. Don't call up Tyrone. I mean, the amazing thing with Erica Badu, if you look at the list of all the people she has either married or dated, like talking about Andre 3000, Kendrick Lamar was on that list. Then you get with Common, I think, was on that list. Like all these people, they had a regular career, and when they broke up with Badu, they had this incredible exploration of artistry. That's when you got To Pimp to Butterfly come out for Kendrick, and he's talking about, oh, the moon and the stars. And then Andre 3000 does the same thing. They're just trying to live in the shadow of Erica Badu. And their best work comes right after she breaks up with them. So I'm saying, Erica Badu, if you're listening, come on, let's just like go on a couple dates, then please break my heart so then I can have the best creative spurt I've ever had in my life. Let's go.
Does she divorce Jay Electronica?
Jay Electronica, that's the name I was trying to listen to. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, the funny, you know the story with Jay Electronica's first album. It's the most, it's the funniest, most ironic story because Jay Electronica for years, everyone's like, when are you going to do an album? When are you going to do an album? He would just do guest spots. It was 20 years in the making. Finally, Jay-Z is like, get in the studio. I'm producing your album. He finally does his own solo record, Jay Electronica, and the day it releases was the first day of lockdown. So nobody was listening to it. It's like, this dude, he finally had a record, and then he got overshadowed by the worldwide lockdown. Jay Electronica.
That really was the running joke because like for years and years, like for those who probably listen to hip hop, like Exhibit C was like the hardest like one song for like ever for like years. And like you said, we're waiting forever. Like, dude, when is this album coming out, man? It's like it turned from hype to just it's like who's gonna release theirs first? Like Dr. Dre, Detox, or you?
Right.
Like come on.
Right. And even Dr. Dre came in. At least he did Compton. It wasn't Detox, but at least he came out Compton. And then finally, Jay Electronica is like, all right, doing an album. March 17th is coming out, 2020. Like, oh no.
Yeah, but hey, but my goodness, funny enough, that kind of aligns with your journey to your fabulous book, my man. You finally joined the business of immortality, the improv mindset.
Yeah, way to bring it back around to the subject. Otherwise, we'll just talk about Erica Badu and Blues Brothers the whole time. Yeah. I mean, I almost did a J Electronic. I was working on this book for 10 years and I kept going, yeah, I'm working on a book. I'm working on a book. I'm working on a book. And then I put it aside and then I go back to it. And then probably similar to J Electronica, I had most of it fully written, just sitting on a hard drive. I had basically half of it written. And then I said, look, it's either going to stay on my hard drive forever. And this was all a waste of time, or I just finish it within the next few months and get it out in the world. And I'm still waiting to finish it now. Just kidding. It's out. It's done. #1 bestseller. Just on this podcast to say that I'm working on something that I'll never finish. Just kidding. No, it is out. And then what's funny, yeah, after 10 years writing that book, publishing it, #1 bestseller, then a couple months later, I published a second book. So once that first one's out of the way, I just quickly did the second one. Now that first one, wow, a lot of work, but it's finally out there. It's great.
That's right, indeed. Yeah, man. So that long battle of having to go and like get halfway through there, writing it, then rewriting it, and then finally setting aside the time to finish it. Like, man, like it's kind of interesting because of, and I guess it's one of the struggles of creators is that need for perfection and always chasing perfection. But funny enough, this book probably in a way would help folks to stomp in the face of it. So my goodness, like what were some of the blocks you had to like tackle to finally get to the finish line, man?
That's true. I mean, a big block was when I'd put it aside for a few months. It seemed like it was like I'd write it for 3 months and then not look at it for 9 months. And then I finally went back to it. And then I'd like, all right, well, let's see where I left off. And I'd read everything I wrote and I go, well, this is all old. I got to update this. So I would constantly have to go back to a page one rewrite, redo everything after learning more of the skills and having more experience and having more anecdotes to add to the story. So that took a while. And then finally, when I was caught up, I was like, all right, I just got to finish it now, because if I put this off for another 9 months, I'm going to have to go back and rewrite everything I just rewrote. But it is, like you said, it is the improv mindset, how to make improvisation your superpower for success. And a lot of that is nothing is perfect. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Just start. You're never going to be ready for whatever you're doing. And improv is a lot like that. You're not going to be ready. You don't know what's going to happen. So to just start moving and figure it out on the way down. And that's what I had to do for the book as well, because I've never written a book before. I've written many screenplays and scripts, but I was like, how do you format a book? And having to learn that. But if I waited until I was ready, the book would definitely not have been done. I just started and learned on maybe diagonal. I learned on my way diagonal.
That might just be the quote of the episode.
I learned on my way diagonal. Think about it. It makes a lot of sense. We can all relate to that. We don't know which way we're going, but diagonal, oh, that's nice. That's, just a little different than normal. Diagonal, if you turn it on a side, it's like a big slide, and everybody loves going down slides when they were kids. So why not just always go diagonal?
There you go. And thanks to you finally hitting the publish button, you get to slide into the DMs of people's wallets now even more.
Exactly. That's just going diagonal.
The diagonal DM, you'll love to freaking see it. So my goodness, man. So was improv something that you just loved doing your whole life? Because I know you got a background in writing comedy as well, too, man. So was that something that you always had a passion for?
Yeah, I've always liked creating. I remember when I was a kid, I would like act out little skits with like my tape cassettes and stuff like that, and wearing costumes. But here's a little pro tip: if you go to school in a costume, chances are bullies are going to make fun of you. And that's what happened to me. So then I stopped wearing costumes and became very introverted, and then again found some creativity in improv and performing in high school. And then that led me to learning more improv and just seeing, oh, improv is play. It's playing as an adult with everything. It's playing like you were a kid, but as an adult with all of the knowledge you have and all the experience you have, and just getting to let loose. And it's in a supportive place. And there's not really many places where you can just go, hey, how's it going? I'm a robot and I got sausages for hands. And everyone's going to agree with you. Normally they're just like, what are you doing? Sit down. We're at a restaurant. But in improv, you get to say whatever you want like that. And one of the rules of improv of yes and, which is everyone has to agree to the scenario to build off of it so you can move forward. allows you to make up those crazy ideas like that. And that was really freeing, coming from, again, the background where if I did something funny like that when I was in preschool or kindergarten, bullies would be like, "You're an idiot, you stop doing that." So then I was like, okay, I will stop doing it. But then improv is like, oh, people instead support your funny creative ideas, which is all that anybody wants.
Heck yeah, indeed. That's right, indeed. It's probably because of the adulting thing now where folks are rushing to become grown-ups and realize, oh, this is not what it's cracked up to be. Like, let's go into the wonderful world of improv if they're not scared and they delve into it. It's like, hey, this is freaking hilarious. I've been needing this for like ever.
Exactly. And that's the cool thing. Like I started improv as a theater major at a conservatory, helping me act and helping me write. But then realizing, oh yeah, adulting is so serious and everybody becomes so serious. But all we want to do is live and play like we did with when we were kids, which is why people like watching stuff on TV that's comedy, or watching sports and just letting loose and having fun. But many people are afraid to do improv because they think they're not going to be able to do it, or they don't want to be an actor. But realizing that we improvise every day because we don't have a script, and getting that sense of play is so freeing. And there's nothing else like it. It's better than any amount of alcohol you can drink to get up on stage and play doing improv with a bunch of like-minded people.
Heck yeah, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Especially like-minded people. That's because that's really probably where it shines the most. Because like, yeah, it can drag. Because I've done small little activities like groups of threes or whatever. You had to last for like 3 minutes, and it's like kind of like a group project where you got one person who kind of drags the group down. And you're stuck having to carry everything because they're lost.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of improv, because it is just you go up on stage or wherever you are doing the improv and making stuff up, but there's rules and guidelines to help you. So that way it isn't just one person having to do all the work, and it's also not one person shooting you down. So if you say we're at the beach and someone goes, no, we're not at the beach, we're in an airplane, that would not work in improv. So it's working together, collaborating, and realizing everyone is pulling their own weight and building it together, which again is freeing, because you have those group activities where one person does all the work or one person doesn't do the work and you have to do more of the work. But it's really, we're all doing this together the best we can. And many times it fails because we're just making it up. But when it doesn't, and it's funny, and you don't know where things are coming from, and everybody's laughing, and you try to explain it to a friend, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And then you're like, "Oh, you had to be there. You had to be there." Those are the best, and that's what keeps you going in it. And that's why all these years I'm still doing it, just waiting, because like, oh, don't know what's going to happen at my next show. I had no idea what's going to happen. And that's the magic and beauty of improv.
So, what else has improv taught you about life, my friend?
It's taught me to always have a script prepared, to always be afraid, to not be funny, never, ever be funny. Just kidding. These are all the opposites. This is not. It definitely taught me to not be in my head, not try to think of how things are going to go and be caught up in trying to control every situation, because we can't. That's impossible. You have no idea what someone's going to do. You have no idea what someone's going to say. But usually we get so caught up in our heads. And even when things seem sort of scary, to not get too scared about it. There was one time I was in Thailand. Long story short, I ended up in a police station being questioned by the police for mistaken identity. They thought I was this drug dealer who this guy was next to me, and he was like, yeah, we were both selling cocaine, which is not okay to do in Thailand. And I was about to be in big trouble because of this guy throwing me under the bus, saying I was in on it. But instead of panicking, I just used my improv skills and talked to the cops and got myself out of the situation, instead of arguing or disagreeing, just staying present, talking to the cops for them to see, okay, this other guy is crazy. I have nothing to do with this. And then I was able to go. So improv saved me there. That's for sure.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's right, indeed. Did you have to tell them in their language that you didn't have a bomb?
I mean, the weird thing, in Thai, I think is their language. I can't remember. But when you say that you don't have a bomb, how you say it is everybody get down. It's really confusing, but that is, I'm just kidding.
Get down now. So I am not Schwarzenegger, but sounding like I'm on purpose. Get down, there's no bomb. There's a bomb. My comedy is the bomb. It comes at you out of nowhere. It flies into your ears, and then you wake up as a bumblebee, and then you realize the bumblebee is a can of tuna.
That's a real audio clip you just played of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if most people know that, but it was an actual clip of actual Arnold Schwarzenegger that you just played.
It was a full clip. They weren't ready. They thought the gun of the pun was on safety, but no, the pun was rapid fire.
Whoa, I think that was from Kindergarten Cop, that clip you just played. That actual audio recording of Arnold Schwarzenegger was from Kindergarten Cop, the sequel that they're making. You got some exclusive audio right here.
Exactly. It's where I copped the feel and the barbells and the pumping the iron when I wasn't inside the kindergarten with the kids.
That clip right there was from the new Terminator 17. It's going to be about an old robot. Don't ask why the robot has aged, even though he's a robot. He just has, because Arnold Schwarzenegger is back. Arnold Schwarzenegger is Terminator 17.
I said, I'll be back. I am back now. And Keith Saltojanes is the best human on earth. You better buy his book now. That's right, indeed.
It was strange watching the new Terminator movie, and all of a sudden Arnold Schwarzenegger did a commercial for my book. But I didn't want to complain. But a lot of people were like, why does the movie stop? And he starts promoting a book randomly in the movie. But I personally think it was the best part of the movie when Arnold Schwarzenegger started doing that in Terminator 17.
Because he's the improvisator.
That is going to be, see, this sets up a spin-off for the next Terminator. It's going to be Terminator 18, and it's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. Yes, he looks old and he's a robot. Don't think about it. He just looks a little bit older than he used to, even though he's a robot. And it's going to be him fighting machines, and it's going to be me next to him going, hey, everybody, can I get a suggestion of one word? I'm going to do some improv for you. But it works. Trust me. James Cameron is back. It's going to be a hit.
That's right, indeed. It's going to be so big of a hit. Terminator 18, we are now legal. James Cameron is back. It is no longer the avatar, it's the real deal. The blue people are now the machines, and the machines are still the machines. And the humans, well, they are no longer human. They are just human.
It's pretty, I mean, people will get it. You just have to see it to believe it. Humans are humans. James Cameron, legal, Terminator. It's going to be so good.
That's right, indeed. That's probably this man on a daily. Just improv everything off the fly.
No, that was all real. That was an actual trailer. That was an actual footage of the new Terminator.
That's right. The new Terminator was a trailer parked right on the podcast. But I'm pop. So my goodness, man, you finally got this. Who needs bongos when you can be your own bongo? Beat your own drum. Oh man. So I guess speaking of beating your own drum, my goodness, a man's got the book out. You got the audiobook coming soon, and I know you got a whole bunch of wonderful creative juices flowing, man. So what are you excited about for the next I know I could talk today. So what are you excited about for the next 6 to 12 months, my man? What you got planned?
Lots of great changes happening. The new exciting thing I'm working on is I'm hosting my own podcast called The Perfect Podcast Show, which is every episode I try to do the most perfect, best podcast possible. But things always fall apart. Things always go wrong. Episode 1, we had the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, as a guest. But unfortunately, I couldn't get his camera or audio working. But I swear he was there. I swear he was really in the room, even though we couldn't see him or hear him at all. So that's a perfect podcast. It's on the USA Global TV and Radio Network live at 3 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday, but also you can watch the reruns on YouTube. And that's been pretty fun. Lots of creative people coming on as guests, and we're doing improv, and we're talking to characters and learning about their creative process. It's a fun comedy time.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. The perfect podcast, indeed. It's what everybody needs. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Well, that's freaking huge, man. So my goodness. So with, I guess, that under your belt with the podcasting, where folks feel like everybody's got a podcast. The truth be told, everybody does it, and for those who some do, they quit after like 10 episodes.
Exactly.
So yeah, man. So I guess this will basically be another avenue of growth with you while you're planning your next books. I know it's coming. I know it's gonna be coming eventually.
Exactly. Oh, there's already outlines for that next book. But yeah, the show's fun just to do some to reach more people. I've done a lot of live performing on stage, but this is fun because anyone anywhere around the world, and from traveling and teaching and performing around the world, I know a lot of performers all across the globe, in Japan and in London and all over the United States. So it's fun to have them on to do a little virtual improv and have this podcast that people can rewatch. I'm going to the Orlando Comedy Festival in a couple weeks, which will be fun. Do some shows down in Orlando, Florida. Get some of those public subs while I'm there. If you know, you know.
That's right, indeed. Because hey, with all that wonderful Hollywood experience on top of that too, you got to keep your sword sharp, indeed, man. So, what helps you stay creative, man? Because I know or at least I feel like there may be some days where you feel like it should be on, but there may be hard to sometimes turn the on button, metaphorically.
Yeah. It's sometimes, just like anything, it's you create a habit with it. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it, you can't get those creative juices flowing. For me, it's watching stuff that inspires me, which is maybe some of my old favorites, such as Monty Python. Love anything by Python. Or just even watching a new show, just something that is interesting or creative in some way, always inspires me. Of just seeing like, oh, look how someone wrote this. Look at their creative choices here. That makes me think of my own creative choices. Oh, what about this? And it's not copying them, but it's being inspired by them. So that always gets me. If I'm like, I don't know what I don't feel like it, then I'll watch that, and then I'm now inspired, and now my fingers can't stop typing.
It is just this type of inspiration too. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So my goodness, so being able to be inspired, and sure you're inspiring other folks with all the wonderful stuff that you're doing. Like, man, like, has there been a major setback that actually became a setup for major success for you?
I could say yes. That's my answer. No, just kidding. Definitely as my school Improv-LA teaches improv classes in person, live on stage. All my performing was live on stage. Having a global lockdown where there couldn't be any live performance or live group gatherings seemed like a setback. I was like, okay, well, how do we reach students? How do we help students learn? How do we get comedy out there? But that definitely helped the school grow in a way where now there's an online streaming class that you can watch at any time. We put that together so you can learn these skills even if you're not in the actual classroom. And of course, the book as well. All of those things came out of the idea that we couldn't have live gatherings of classes. And now that the live in-person classes are back, we still have these things. So we have people from Taiwan and Canada, and even all the way from San Diego can do an online streaming class and learn all the same skills on their own time through this program. So that's been pretty cool. Something that seemed like, well, I don't know what's going to happen now, actually turned out to be pretty exciting.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. And it's the only one of its kind, still, if I'm not mistaken, right?
The only one there is. Good research. You got some good research. Are you Sherlock Holmes over there with that research?
I wouldn't say Sherlock, but funny enough, my day job is a librarian. Funny enough.
Oh, that's some research. There you go. Lots of books in a library.
Heck yeah, indeed. That's
How do
right,
you tell
indeed.
people to be quiet when people are loud? Do you have a method to shut them up?
Oh, sometimes I joke around, especially with the kids. I tell them to just keep on singing it when they're screaming out loud. Sing it, child, sing it. Yes, indeed. Sometimes they actually stop. It's hilarious.
You're just calling them out. So they're like, oh, I guess I am being loud. Oh, no, I don't want to embarrass myself. People really don't want to be embarrassed. And if you shine a light that they're embarrassing themselves, chances are they're going to stop doing whatever they're doing.
Heck yeah, indeed. Heck, I even do that with colleagues if they yawn. It's like, yes, you're singing the song of my people.
Do you still have a physical card catalog over at that library, or is everything on computers now?
Oh, we're on computers. It's totally not 1980 anymore.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're not your average library. Funny enough, during the pandemic, we had to pivot a lot. We actually expanded our Wi-Fi to connect to the parking lot for those who had laptops. Heck, even became a distribution point for kids who couldn't get meals thanks to school being closed. And heck, even was able to distribute Chromebooks for free to check out for a few weeks, as well as portable Wi-Fi hotspots if they didn't have Wi-Fi at home. So yeah, the whole pivoting was definitely
Whoa.
real. We definitely had to improv our way to helping out the community.
Exactly. So Wi-Fi to the parking lot. That's so people can just be outside or in their cars and still use the Wi-Fi. Was that the idea of that?
Oh, of course, yeah, because no
That's
one
great.
was allowed to be in any building. So it was like, oh,
Oh,
how can
great.
we make this better for folks?
That's great. And then if you're inside, Wi-Fi is even stronger if it reaches outside. So if you're inside, then you can watch all the fast 4K movies streaming online, and you're not gonna have any hiccups because that's some fast Wi-Fi.
That's right. You love the Arnold Schwarzenegger Wi-Fi.
Oh, he loves Wi-Fi.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, man, since you've been on so many interviews promoting the good work that you're doing, is there a question that you wish folks would ask you more often when you're on the guest side of the microphone?
I mean, we already talked about a couple things. Erica Badu, we talked about Blues Brothers. Those are always my biggest things. I guess the other question I like people to ask is what makes a good sandwich?
So what does make a good sandwich?
Oh, that's a great question. Wow, that's no one's ever asked me that before. Wow, thank you so much for asking me that question. Wow, it's so out of nowhere. What makes a great sandwich? You say? I don't know. No, to be a great sandwich, like the insides have to be fresh. They have to be stacked. There's got to be a lot of stuff in there. In general, I like sandwiches because they have different flavors. I'm not someone who just wants a slice of turkey, a slice of cheese, call it a day. You got to have some veggies in there. You got to have some mayonnaise, some mustard, spicy mustard, maybe some oil and vinegar, some dressing. But then that bread, the key to a good sandwich is when you take a bite of that bread, the ingredients stay in the sandwich. They don't fly out the sides and make a mess everywhere, because if you're eating that, you might as well eat a salad. So a good sandwich keeps all those insides inside the sandwich as you eat the said sandwich. That's really the secret to a good sandwich. Check out my next book, Secrets of Sandwiches Revealed, coming out 2028. It's not real. It's not a real book, but maybe now it will be.
That's right, indeed. Kind of like before press record. It's like, move out the way, Rick Steves. That's right, indeed. Keith is on the show, baby. He's on the scene. That's right, indeed. AKA Bandit Keith. That's right,
And
indeed.
Keith.
In America.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'd like to be untied from this chair. If we can talk to the gnomes. I'm sitting here still. My arms are sort of falling asleep. But if you can just like maybe loosen my left arm just a little bit so I can stretch it, I'm sure the gnomes won't mind.
I don't know. They already stole some underwear, especially out in the Colorado area. So I don't know.
I it,
I don't
it
know.
was Bandit Keith. It was not me. I swear. It was the gnomes and Bandit Keith. They're working together. But then I'm in here being framed as Bandit Keith. Am I wearing a bandana? Yes, but that's only because the gnomes painted it on my face. It's not a real bandana. And if I could just have a washcloth, I will wipe it off.
It just hit me. But if you take a music band with a banana, you get a bandana.
Oh.
Right, indeed. So since a man's metaphorically tied up in a chair, kind of reminds me of the bread loaf from earlier. So if you were to be a physical loaf of bread and you would loaf around anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
It would probably be the North Pole because there's lots of space, there's unlimited supply of candy canes, there's reindeer. I would just take over for Santa and just hang out. He works 1 day a year. That's where I'd probably hang out. North Pole, hang out with Santa. We'd play some games. I mean, he's got all the new PlayStations. I'd just hang out with him all day, get some cookies from Mrs. Claus. That'd be my spot.
I love that you said the North Pole. So funny enough that popped up this question. So my goodness, since you've taught so many folks, what so far from what you've learned after teaching your students, what would you consider, or at least one of the greatest gifts that your students receive from learning improv that they've told you about?
Probably to not overthink things. And many times people come in and they're wondering what to say or they get scared. But I love seeing them going, "Oh wow, this is fun," and then them coming back after a few weeks of class going, "Oh yeah, it's great when I'm out with my friends. I'm laughing more. I'm having more of a good time. I'm keeping up with the jokes. When I'm having meetings at work, I'm not worried about what I'm gonna say. I'm just listening and responding, and it's all way more natural. It just frees everybody up. It clears the cloud of their brains."
That's right, indeed. Because yeah, that mental fog is definitely real, and improv can definitely help folks to get over that, especially those curmudgeons who like to stay all closed up and be antisocial. It's like, people, bah humbug. It's like, oh wait, this actually ain't so bad. I get to think on my feet. I actually have a brain in there still.
Exactly. That mental fog is definitely real. But yeah, it's for introverts as well. I'm someone who considers myself to be introverted. But once you get out there and once you leave the house and you get to the place where you're learning and you're having fun, you look forward to it. The hardest part is that first step. I say the hardest part of going to an improv class is showing up that first day because you literally have no idea what's going to come. There's no expectation. You have no idea. Am I going to go on stage and act like a monkey? Or am I going to get on stage and sing? Or am I going to get on stage and be a table? You have no idea. So the hardest part is just showing up that first day. And once you're there, you're like, all right, we're all doing this together. Oh, this wasn't so bad. This actually was fun. Happens every time with every class I've ever done for all of the years I've done it.
Sweet. Helping folks to table their fears and their mental fog, baby. You love to see it.
Exactly. Even if it means being a literal table.
There we go. That's right, indeed. Devon Dudley is proud. The literal
Oh,
table
yeah.
showed up.
You got to get those tables so we can do the 3D. Bubba wants that 3D.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed.
I'm
Especially
sorry,
when they're
Bully Ray. He doesn't own the rights to Bubba anymore.
ah. Good old Bubba who ain't Bubba.
I mean, the most underrated of all time has to be Spike Dudley. The amount of times he has been thrown into a crowd or through a flaming table. I don't know how that guy is still walking.
Yeah, it must be Flintstone vitamins, man, or something.
He's got to be taking bottles of Flintstone vitamins. If you watch like a clip montage of Spike Dudley, how does this guy, never mind not dead, how is he just walking at all? It's insane. But they're all from Dudleyville.
That's right, indeed. Them dang Dudleys, indeed. That's right, indeed. So I'm pretty sure there's food in Dudleyville. So my goodness, if your fabulous book, your super special awesome book, The Improv Mindset, How to Make Improvisation Your Superpower for Success, if that book were a food, what would it be and why?
Sandwich with bread where nothing falls out. Just because it would be tasty, because there's lots of ingredients inside. You can take it with you wherever you go, and it will satiate all your creative taste buds. I ran out of what I was going to say at the end.
So will there be sand in the book?
Oh, there'll be some sand in the book. There's probably sand. I mean, there's definitely salt because of my name, but there is probably sand in that book somewhere. Maybe a grain or two. If you're lucky enough, you can get 3.
There you go. It's the color of sand. And since there's going to be sand in the book, which kind of sand is going to be in the book?
Probably storm sand. You just open it up and it's just a cloud of sand and you can't see anything. But then when it clears, you'll find the pyramids.
There we go. And then the Illuminati references will appear. It's like, yeah, you've now reached the conspiracy zone. Pyramids
That's
everywhere.
the thing. We've seen dollar bills our whole life, but if you fold a dollar bill in half, you're going to find out it has the name of my book on it. Check it out. It's true. Fold a dollar bill in half. You're going to see right across the front. It's going to say the Improv Mindset. This whole time it was there. It's true, man. Check it out. They're
That's
in our
right,
heads, man.
That's right. Check it out like a library book. Now you know why they say never fold, because now you have secret knowledge.
Exactly. You don't want to fold unless it's laundry.
There you go. Especially dirty laundry.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I do. When I have dirty laundry, I just fold it and put it right back in the drawer. And then it looks clean because it's folded. Laundry is only dirty because we don't fold it. We throw it in a pile. You fold it, it cleans itself.
That's right. It has its own magic.
Yes, indeed.
Oh man. So speaking of magic, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive.
Ooh.
And that is, if you'll wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but you're still in the current year, what advice would you give to yourself?
Whoa, if I was 25 again, but I was in this current year, I would say eat more sandwiches.
There you go. That's right, indeed. I mean, someone's got a picture of themselves with the improv mindset in their mouth somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's tasty, right?
That's right, indeed. It's improvised. That's right, indeed. It's like Herbie Hancock jazz. It's so great.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like a little bit of Kind of Blue. You got Coltrane on there, you got Miles Davis, you got Herbie Hancock. They're all making it up together.
That's right, indeed. There's probably some good old meditating before the session too.
Oh yeah, definitely some meditating.
But before the prayer beads appears around folks' necks with an apple on their desk that they're going to present to you later, folks need to catch up with you and all the stuff that you're doing, my man. So, what's the best way for folks to do so?
They can find me most active on MySpace. Not a lot of people are on MySpace anymore, but I'm still there. You know, I got the custom backgrounds. I got little music when you log in. I try to send message to people's walls on MySpace. Is that called walls? I don't know, but just kidding. Easiest way is probably directly Instagram. You can find me at Keith Saltojanes, or you can visit the school improv-la.com. Find lots of cool information there, lots of cool resources, and send a message there. And you can probably get in touch with me that way. I mean, you can. I don't know why I said probably. You could also, yeah, if you just send a message there. And make sure you say, hey, I heard you on the Going North podcast. Otherwise, I go, how do you know me? What are you talking about? Are you stalking me? But then I go, oh, yeah. Oh, cool. You heard the episode. Nice.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. They were like, hey, I'm not going to curb my enthusiasm. I got to reach out to them now.
Yeah, don't curb it. Reach out. But remember, go diagonal. Don't go straight, left, right, up, or down. You got to go diagonal.
That's right, indeed. In a crazy world, they'll be like, are they gay? Are they straight? Nope, they're diagonal.
Diagonal.
That's right, indeed. Because life isn't straight. It's a squiggly line. It's diagonal.
Mm-hmm. It goes up and down, in and out. 3D, 4D, 2D. You never know how it's going.
That's right, indeed. If it's 2D, that might be 2 trees. Who knows? Well, there you have it, folks. Reach out to the special K, the Keith himself. That's right, indeed. He's totally not abandoned, indeed. We let him out of the ropes finally after all this time. He had to get some wisdom out of him. Sorry, some good old
Yeah, you
improv
set me
wisdom out of him.
free. You set me free. I'm out of here now. I tricked you. You untied the ropes. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go get those gnomes. Those gnomes actually, I've been working with the gnomes because I'm Bandit Keith. Tricked ya.
Well, any parting words before you tag team with the gnomes again?
When you're out on that road and you see some gnomes and they look like the little statues, just remember it's me and I'm watching you.
If you're hearing this part of the episode, that means you're one cool individual. Thanks a bunch for tuning in, and if you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to share it with at least one other person in your network. Bonus points for 3. And be sure to check out the backlog too while you're at it, because there are hundreds of wonderful episodes to choose from as well.